So, the reviews for The Walking Dead, Daryl, Dixon are in, and ouchie.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol Season 2. We're going to be talking about some early reviews from people, some mixed reactions that I've seen, some bad, some good, and we're also going to talk about some new screenshots that we have for this season.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe. This one's going to be doing another video for the Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol Season 2. We're going to talk about some early reviews that have recently come out for this season, and some stuff that you guys can kind of expect going into this second season this Sunday. This Sunday is the return, guys, of the Walking Dead universe. Very excited, of course. We're going to be reviewing it this Sunday for episode 1, and whatever else footage we get for the further episodes, we'll talk about that as well. But the reviews are out. People wanted me to discuss them. People wanted me to talk about them. And there are also some preview photos, which we'll give our thoughts after the review segment. So, gathering up from what I've seen, about 10 to 15 different reviews from different people. Comicbook.com. There is Winter is Coming, I heard, do one. There was a few others. IGN did theirs. And the general consensus that I've seen after going over these reviews is there are positive reviews, which is good, and I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that apparently, according to Winter is Coming, this is an all-time high for Daryl Dixon, so that's good. However, I have also seen a lot of reviews saying the same thing, which is concerning, considering multiple people saying the same thing. A lot of people are telling me that this season is very lackluster for Carol's return, which I find very hard to believe, but apparently it's a very lackluster Carol return. And apparently, one of the things that they say is that Carol takes way too much screen time away from some of these other characters that we're focusing on. Apparently, Isabel this season, and I've heard this from a lot of people that have seen it, apparently Isabel is very much shoved to the background and very underused because Carol is now in the show. Which, that's a frustrating element right there, not gonna lie, because at least for myself, I will say this. Isabel is a really creative character, a really unique character. She was one of my favorites in the first season, and they did a really good job with her. I would really hate, and it sounds like this is what they're doing, it sounds like Isabel is going to be very underused this season. It sounds like she is very much a nothing, you know what I mean? Now, one thing I also heard people talking about, and this is something that I will admit I was concerned about, but I've heard people discuss it, is that the prophecy Laurent is you know, the Messiah, you know. Apparently it's shoved in our faces a lot this season, which is the one storyline of this show that I've said from the get-go I do not enjoy. I don't enjoy the prophecy Laurent storyline. This isn't Harry Potter. This isn't, you know, whatever the fuck. This is, you know, The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? It's The Walking Dead. It's not The Walking Dead, you know, Fairyland or The Walking Dead Twilight or some shit like that. It's The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? So, according to what people have said, the prophecy is very much forced on us, which is, you know, definitely not a good sign, I will say. I hope that that's not shoved down our throats, but it sounds like, according to some reviews I've heard, it very much is. I've heard people say that this season feels like very much just more season 1, which I will admit, yeah, that is something I've heard, is that this season doesn't really feel any different. It just feels like more season 1, which is why I always say that I feel like France should have been one season. I really do. I think France should have been a 12-episode season, honestly, if they wanted to do that, because I just feel like this feels like the same thing. I will admit, when I watched the first 10 minutes, yeah, it feels just like season 1. So I will say this, the reviewers are definitely right just based off of what I've already seen. However, I will say this, it's, you know, we'll have to see what it's like. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing about, you know, these negative comments, is that it's like, we'll have to see. For all we know, this season's phenomenal, you know? And even through the bad reviews, and let's start getting into some of the more positive stuff now, right? I have heard, even through the people that said that this season was mid as hell, which is the general consensus I've heard. I have heard people say this, though, is that apparently the cinematography and the action and all that stuff is grade A, top of the line material. You know what I mean? Which I'm not surprised, because the choreography and the cinematography and all that stuff was amazing in the first season. So I'm not surprised that it's that good. You know what I mean? But I will say this. I've heard nothing but the fact that apparently characters are underused this season. I'm assuming they're talking about Isabel, which, you know, again, here's the thing, right? I love Carol. Carol, it sounds like, is coming in here to take Isabel's spot as the leading female, which I understand. It's Carol. It makes sense. But don't shove Isabel away just because Carol is here. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I'm pissed off about. And I will admit this, and I've already noticed this with the filming of Season 3. It appears like the only thing that matters is Carol and Daryl. If you're not Carol and Daryl, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, if you're Caudron, a character that I'm actually really intrigued in seeing what they do with them, doesn't matter. If you're Isabel, a character that you gave all this screen time for, doesn't matter. Why? Because they're going to put Daryl and Carol in another location and then give us new characters in Spain, and we're going to forget all about these characters, you know? And that's the part that makes this show very hard to take seriously. This is just me talking, not the early reviews. That's the part that makes this show very hard to take seriously, I will admit, is the fact that if it's not Daryl and Carol, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? And that is really, really bad. They need to chill with that. It sounds like the only thing that matters is Laurent's prophecy, which I'm like, I don't give a shit about a prophecy. I want Laurent to just be a normal kid. I don't want kid that can walk on water, you know what I mean? I want a kid that can just be a freaking kid, you know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents on that, at least. But again, we'll see what happens. According to early reviewers, Laurent's prophecy is seriously really forced on people. But again, we'll have to see. Now, in terms of the early reviews, for the positive side, I have heard some positives that this season is at an all-time high for the Walking Dead universe. You know, kind of hard to tell what that means, but I'll say that, you know, that's good. It's good to hear that it's, you know, an all-time high. And I've heard the cinematography is great, the action is great, all that stuff is great. It sounds like the actual writing is the part where there's problems, you know what I mean? Which, you guys know me, I'm going to judge it for myself. If I think it's mid as hell, I'll let you know. If I think it's amazing and it's some incredible stuff, I will also let you know. If I think it's a piece of shit, I will also let you know. That is the thing about watching this channel. For anybody that's new, I will give it to you honest, and I will give it I will give you guys my honest opinions on what I think. Yes, these early reviews are a little concerning in some areas, I will say. But again, I'm going to let it speak for itself, and then we'll see what we come out with. You know what I'm saying? But that right there is the general consensus for the early reviews of Daryl Dixon. I would love to hear your comments down below and your thoughts on all this stuff. Now, without further ado, let's get into a few preview photos that we have for Daryl Dixon Season 2.
All right, so to get into these new images here, we have Daryl right here with a double-barrel France shotgun. This is for sure the moment when he's about to kill Madame Genet. We've seen this in some of the trailers, so that's pretty cool. We've got Carol right here with the crossbow. This is her at the auto shop, right? And here is the new character. This one is, oh dang, what the hell is his name? Ash, that's his name. For some reason, his name is just not registering for me. I don't know what it is. But anyway, this is definitely in the first episode when he meets Carol. They're in kind of like that like barn type of area that we've seen them in some of the promotional material. I'm curious on his character. I'm curious to see what he has to offer. He's got a rifle there. We've got Daryl right here in France. We see him there. He's got a black eye, cuts all over his face. Dang, he is like really, really getting his ass kicked this season from the looks of it. Although coming out on top because it's Daryl, you know. So, but yeah, very battle damaged is the best way to put Daryl this season. Now we've also got Carol here at the auto shop. We've seen this a few times before. Yeah, this is her with the crossbow and stuff. We've seen this scene. Here is Daryl firing the gun towards Madame Genet. We've seen this in teasers as well too. See, this is what I'm saying. They've shared so much in teasers that it's like I already know what's going on here. This is when he's trying to shoot Madame Genet right here. We know that as well. Here he is here. I don't think we know what this scene is. Basically, he's got like cuts all over his face. He's kind of like just looking out and stuff. This is probably later on. Yep, that's when they're about to hit Madame Genet's vehicle. We've seen this as well too, just a kind of a better shot of it. Here is Isabel in the opening scene of, you know, these are all from the opening scene. Here she is here. This is when she's talking to Daryl and stuff like that. And he's mentioning like, yeah, I keep thinking about all the people I left behind. Wonder if they're still thinking about me. And here is the one lady that Quinn was with. She's running the club as well, so probably running it now in his honor, so that's pretty interesting to see. We've got Sylvie right here. Man, I hope she does something this season. They really haven't done much with her character. Yeah, not much to say about her. Hopefully they give her something, though. I hope. Here is, I forget this guy's name, Losang or something like that. He's the leader of the nest right here. He's the one that's kind of helping out Laurent and stuff. Here is, speaking of Laurent, here he is out here killing some walkers with a machete. Pretty cool. And getting his hands dirty. Again, though, we've seen this in the opening scene. Here is Isabel right here with Falou behind her and some guy. I don't know who that is. As they're standing there kind of battle ready, it looks like. So we'll have to see what that's all about. Probably Janae's people or something. Here she is in a crowd of people at the nest, prepared to fight as well. Here we've got another image of Sylvie. Looks very similar to the other two. We've got Ash right here at his place. This is definitely in the premiere, I would assume. Unless it's when he's already in France. Maybe he does survive for a bit. I don't know. And then we've got Falou. Man, is it weird? I never caught the fact that he's bald. I kind of figured he was, but I don't think we've ever seen that. So that's crazy. And that is that, guys. That is the images for season 2 of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. So not bad. A lot of these are shots we've seen in the opening minutes, so there's not too much to actually delve into, but I'll say, yeah, they look pretty good. They look pretty good for sure.
And that right there about does it. Early reviews and some early images for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2. We have just a few more days, guys, and then we will be here, the premiere of Daryl Dixon Season 2. Stay tuned, of course, more videos coming very soon for Daryl Dixon. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click to subscribe and tune up to any other videos of The Walking Dead. Be sure to follow me at Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos of The Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected, every plot twist beat. Rogue gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.